Hello YouTubers, on this week's video we'll be making a wonton soup with a tossed chicken salad.
This week I want to do a soup that's very easy to do. Again, normally I'd like to do something concerning camping. This is something that you can either do at home. You possibly could do it while you're camping. It doesn't take an awful lot. Very few ingredients and very simple to do. The soup is a wonton soup. It's one of my favorite soups. It's light. I love the taste of the chicken broth, and it's something that's very warming, and especially in cold time of year like it is up here in Michigan in the middle of January. The soup has got just basically a few simple ingredients. I'll be using a chicken stock. I'll also use frozen wontons, which I simply got at Dollar General. And I use chopped up celery and some sliced carrots. I'll also be adding seasoning that best suits me. Things that I like, the taste of, and this is something you can change for your own personal taste. The one seasoning I want to add that I'll point out to you is a chicken seasoning that I get through Zender's out of Frankenmuth, Michigan. This is something you can even order on Amazon. But in the meantime, like I said, it's a very simple soup, and I'm sure it's something that you will enjoy. Now, of course, my quantities on these ingredients are going to be up to whatever you prefer to use, depending on the size of pot and amount of servings you want to make. I always like to make a lot for myself to run through the period of a few days, and so I'm starting out, and I'm going to have 4 32-ounce containers of chicken stock. I'm going to have probably about 2 or 3 cups or a small container of chopped up celery, and then I've also got about a half to 3/4 of a bag of sliced carrots. Seasonings I'm going to be using is black pepper, garlic powder, ginger, onion powder, parsley flakes, rosemary, and some sea salt, and that's all going to be the amount to taste. The vegetables will be sauteed, and probably just maybe about 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. When I add in the stock, I'm going to also add a bag of mini wontons. This is about a 24-ounce bag, and just for reference, I picked these up over at General Dollar. Basically, what I'm trying to do is just to make my own wonton soup. Okay, now I've got my 7-quart stock pot, and I'm heating that up, and I've got it set to a medium high, about a medium to medium high heat. I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil in here, or no, I'm sorry, avocado oil, and bring that up to temperature. And then when that starts getting warmed up or heated up, then the next thing I'll do is I'll add my celery and my carrots. Now the oil has come up to temperature, so I'll drop in my celery, and I'm going to add my carrots as well. And we're just going to kind of heat those up until they start to soften a little bit. Put the heat down to medium. Try to keep those from burning. I'm being a little bit more careful than I was on my last batch or two of soups that I did, because I had a tendency to have that heat set too high, and as a result I was getting an awful lot of smoke in here. And a little word of advice: never take your hands off the stove. If you do, you got a chance of burning things. I've also got a little discoloring in the bottom of the pan, and that comes from just exactly that, having my temperature set too high. But pan's still working pretty good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding in my chicken stock. This is going to be a nice soup for this cold weather that we're having up here in Michigan right now. I like using regular stock, whether it's beef, chicken, or vegetable. It just gives it that much more flavoring. I do have another seasoning I'm going to add, which I didn't mention earlier, and that is my Zender's. Zender's is a restaurant in Frankenmuth, Michigan. They're known for their family-style chicken dinners. And the seasoning, I put that on regular chicken and is extremely good. So for starters, I'm just going to add this in here. I'll put it in here liberally. And I may add more later on. And I'm just going to let this simmer now. I'm going to kick it down to about medium low. And I'm just going to let it sit there for a while before I add my wontons and the rest of my seasonings. Well, it's starting to heat up a bit. So I'm going to start adding in some of the seasonings. Start out with some black pepper. And we'll do a little bit of garlic powder. I'm doing it kind of sparingly because I can always add more on it as I see fit. I'm going to add a little bit of ginger here. I think the ginger is going to give it a nice little oriental flavor to it. And we'll add a little bit of onion powder. I'm not putting any onions in it. Actually, I'm going more for flavor and kind of cutting back a little bit. I don't want to put too many vegetables in there. Why? I don't know, but I'm just giving it a shot. A little parsley. Okay, I'm going to add some rosemary. Not too much. I have to admit, I'm not very knowledgeable as far as what seasonings do what. And of course, salt. There. And I'll mix this up a little bit. And I'll go get a spoon a moment. Even though I'm the only one that's going to be eating this, I don't want to gross you people out. They see me double dip. That's got some good flavor to it. It needs to simmer. I love the flavor on that. But I'm going to kick the flavor, I'm going to kick the temperature down too low, and then I'm going to cover it, and I'm just going to let it heat up or simmer. I'm going to bring it up to a low simmer, and I'll check it again, and then I'll probably add my wontons. Now we'll check our broth here and see how it's doing. I've got it set at a simmer, so it looks like it's doing pretty well. Starting to get a little boil out of it. Take my clean spoon, double check it for flavor and tenderness. This is a clean spoon, by the way. And check this out. Vegetables are nice and tender. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add, hope this can kind of focus, there we go, chicken vegetable dumplings. I'm going to reach in and grab a few and then just start adding them in there until I feel I've got enough. My intention is to put in the whole bag. Drop those in there. I don't know about you, but anytime I order wonton soup on takeout, I never seem to get enough wontons. And I do like the dumplings. I've used these a lot just by making them. You know, I'll follow the instructions and heat them up in the microwave. Take a little teriyaki sauce and add it to, you know, for some dipping. And like right now, looks like everything is going in there. Now on the back of the bag, it gives you 3 different ways of fixing it. Pan fry, wonton soup and boil, and microwave. Now I'm not even looking at the directions. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I've got plenty of chicken broth here. If I don't get a chance to get out and get some more, if I feel I need more broth, then I do have chicken base or chicken bouillon, and I can add water and bouillon to that. But for right now, I'm just going to keep it like it is. Again, I'm going to add some more of this Zunders, this chicken seasoning, and this is probably one of the best tasting chicken seasoning that you'll find. Sorry for the noise, it kind of gets a little clumpy, but This stuff is so good that they actually put the seasoning right on the table when they serve, you know, their chicken. It's great on potatoes, great on vegetables, great on the chicken. So anyway, I've got it set down to a low, and I'm just going to let it sit there for probably another hour just to let it simmer, and we'll check back with it later on. Now, in the middle of shooting this video, which I intended to be only making an easy wonton soup, I thought I'd take it a step farther, and I had pulled a chicken breast out of my freezer, and this is something that's quite easy to do. I've even done it with regular chicken breast that's frozen that you pick up right from the store. And what I did is take a fresh piece of chicken breast, and I thawed it out just enough to take it out of my food saver bag, and so I seasoned it and stuck it in the oven. I originally set it for 30 minutes, and since then I've added another 20 minutes, which I will check after that amount of time. I've got it set at 400 degrees, and I've seasoned it with the same seasoning that I've gotten from Zender's. And what I'm doing is I'm making a full, complete meal. It's a low-cal meal, and what it's going to consist of is some baby greens and spinach mix, along with some tomato, and then I'll take the chicken breast and I'll slice that up, and then as an additional side I'm going to have the chicken wonton soup. And so this is something I think it'll kind of put a little added twist, make a nice little easy meal that somebody could fix, whether it's just for themselves or for a number of people. And you could also do this whether you're at home or at a campsite. And I'm going to sprinkle that on the back or on the bottom of my chicken breast. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'll do the same thing. Okay. Now, once I've got that seasoned up, as soon as the oven has reached or preheated at 400 degrees, I'm going to put it in the oven, and I'm going to put it in there for approximately 30 minutes. I'll check it after about 20 with the thermometer to make sure that it's at least 165 degrees internal. So the chicken is in the oven. Let's pull the wonton soup up, take a little quick look at it. And I'm going to give it a little stir. And it looks like basically it is all done. I'm going to check it for taste to see if I want to add anything to it. Again, I have a clean spoon. All I can say is wow, that flavor is great. So I'm just going to keep it at simmer. I'm going to push it back to the rear burner here. And then we'll come back to it when we get ready to serve it along with our chicken salad. And that's what I'm going to be doing with the chicken breast. I've got it seasoned with the Zender's chicken seasoning. I'm just going to take some 50-50 green salad mix, put it on a plate, I think I've got a tomato. I'll probably mix that into it, put some dressing on it, slice up the chicken breast, put that on there with it. And so what I'll have is like a chicken salad along with chicken wonton soup. Well, chicken breast has been in there for probably close to an hour. And so I let it sit there for a couple moments, or for a few minutes. And now we're going to slice this up a little bit. I'm going to get this ready to put on the salad. Still pretty juicy. Go. Let's dish up our soup. That looks very good if I don't say so myself. Okay, let's add our chicken breast. Okay, and we'll put a little bit of parsley flakes on top of the wonton soup. Shake up a little light ranch dressing. And there we are. That's a perfect light dinner with chicken salad with light ranch dressing and homemade wonton soup. I think this is something that you'll really enjoy.
I hope you find this recipe fun to watch and easy to make. And if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And most of all, thanks for watching. Also, feel free to leave comments whether you like this video or not, or if you have any suggestions.